Penguin Random House Audio presents The Librarians by Sherry Thomas. Narrated by Louisa Zhu. To all the libraries, big and small, and to all the librarians, then and now. The man captured by the library's surveillance camera does not appear to be in desperate straits. CCTV footage in real life is not always black and white or grainy. This one has medium resolution and somewhat desaturated colors. Viewing the footage, it's easy enough to make out that the man sports a light blue Oxford shirt, open at the collar, sleeves rolled up. With his slightly long hair held back from the forehead by a pair of bronze-tinted sunglasses, he looks like a young Hugh Grant. Someone who has enough charm, talent, and privilege to survive a hooker scandal with his career intact. He strolls along the stacks, occasionally crouching down to examine a row of books on the bottom. Several times he pulls out a volume, flips through it, then opens it until the front and back covers almost touch, as if to test the binding. The next day's footage is even longer. 15 uninterrupted minutes of Kit Asquith wandering about the library. What was he doing? And did he know then that in less than 3 weeks he would be dead? In the final recording, Kit Asquith enters the library with a cardboard box. It looks heavy. He disappears from frame for a few minutes. When he reappears, he is still holding the same box. Again, he strolls the stacks, sometimes taking down a book to drop into the box, sometimes putting one from the box up onto the shelves. After 10 minutes of this, he leaves, never to be seen on these premises again. Maybe it's for the best that no one can figure out what Kit Asquith did in the suburbs of Austin, Texas, or where he hid the $25 million he stole. Late-stage capitalism is the golden age of fraud, and financial crimes are thick on the ground. In a year, Kit Asquith will become a footnote. In 5 years, he won't even merit an ancillary remark. Provided, that is, his widow stays far, far away from this insignificant little library. Chapter 1. Austin, Texas. Monday, 2 days before Halloween. In the fortunate places of the world, libraries are everywhere to be found. Some are architectural marvels. Some are touchstones of civilization. Some awe by the depth and granularity of their seemingly infinite collections. But the greater wonder is perhaps not the phenomenal libraries proudly associated with illustrious universities or storied seats of power. The greater wonder lies in the ordinary ones, the ones that in the fortunate places are everywhere to be found. They exist and serve quietly, standing apart not at all from their unexceptional surroundings. Sometimes they are squeezed into tight corners. Sometimes they share walls with grocery stores and sellers of electronic cigarettes. There is rarely anything unique or unforgettable about their collections, humble aggregates of popular novels, standard reference volumes, how-to books, and DVDs for those who don't yet stream all their audiovisual entertainment. Yet their ubiquity is their most fundamental virtue. Their unremarkable holdings would have dazzled scholars from the Age of Enlightenment. And as much as anything, they represent a community's investment in its members, a commitment to care for and nourish hearts and minds. Or libraries can be merely another place to work, another place of mundane chores, minor dramas, and mediocre compensation. I have become a pessimist, thinks Hazel Lee. Or perhaps she has long been a fatalist in an optimist's athleisure. Her acceptance of the inexorable sweep of fate and entropy masked by her willingness to put some effort into the here and now. Her grandmother wanted her to take a position with the library system, and Hazel acquiesced. But she didn't think she would be assigned to this particular branch. Nai, on the other hand, is delighted.
So close by, and you loved going there when you were a little girl.
One should be wary of revisiting childhood icons. Epics she adored turn out to have undertones and overtones of sexism and colonialism. People she loved embody a large spectrum of human frailties. Places that occupied hallowed ground in her heart are demolished or become something else entirely, such as the old noodle shop that is now an establishment called the Furless Kitty, specializing in Brazilian waxing. The branch library, too, has changed. The current incarnation is a red brick building, its aluminum roof covered with solar panels. 200 yards away, a highway meets a local thoroughfare, but a shopping center separates and shields the library from the intersection. On the library's large lot, much of which has been left unpaved, mature live oaks flourish and further foster a sense of comfortable seclusion. Pleasant. Not impressive, but pleasant. And Hazel is satisfied with pleasant. She parks her e-bike on the rack at the front of the library and hooks her helmet to her backpack. Nearer to the entrance stands a stack of a free regional weekly. She remembers the publication from decades ago and is happier than she thought she would be that it still exists. A hesitant question comes as she browses the latest issue's guidance on the upcoming off-year election.
Hi, are you Hazel?
Hazel turns around. A young white woman in her late 20s waves. Other than the red streaks in her sandy hair, she looks a lot like a hobbit, round-faced, with pink cheeks and brown eyes. Hazel can see her dancing, in the exact dusty rose sweater vest and long corduroy skirt she's wearing, at Bilbo Baggins's 11th birthday party. In other words, absurdly cute. She smiles. Yes, hi, I'm Hazel. They shake hands. The young woman, who speaks with a Scandinavian accent, introduces herself as Astrid, a librarian at the branch.
It's great to have you here,
says Astrid, looking a little shy.
Let me open the place up and show you around.
The library's 2 sets of automatic doors slide apart to reveal 10 computer terminals set up for the public. To the left of the computer terminals are the stacks. To the right, the circulation area. An L-shaped children's department wraps around the circulation area on the farther side, making the latter feel like a snug island, the warm heart of the library. Behind the stacks, a long rectangular work gallery on spools with desks, chairs, and plenty of outlets set beneath a bank of wide windows. Outside the windows, thick vines on metal trellises form natural sunscreens. Beyond the work gallery, invisible from the front entrance, nestles a reading area. There are fewer magazines on the periodicals shelf now. The times have not been kind to print publications, and the spin racks of audio CDs are gone. But DVDs still take up half a wall, and the collection of graphic novels has proliferated. Given that Halloween is right around the corner, there are a fair number of skeletons scattered around the library, mostly on posters that will be taken down on November 1st. But there is a fully articulated skeleton in the children's area, peering intently into a shelf of image-heavy compendiums on dinosaurs. Not far away, 3 chubby and friendly-looking ghosts cluster around a brambly hedge collection. Astrid has Hazel deposit her personal items in the librarian's office, sandwiched between the circulation area and the drive-through pickup at the very back. She helps Hazel turn on the public terminals and the checkout station's computers, then introduces Hazel to Sophie, A striking black woman in a perfectly fitted hunter green suit and sky.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?